Hello, guys, and welcome back to the channel. First of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone that watched the first video, subscribed, messaged me, and shared their own stories. Honestly, I didn't expect that many people to relate to it. Over the last year, my life changed completely. Going through divorce, rebuilding myself mentally, trying to stay focused, stay disciplined, and figure out who I actually want to become moving forward. And through all of that, I learned a lot about myself and about life as a man in general. So, in today's video, I want to talk about some of the biggest lessons I learned through heartbreak, loneliness, discipline, self improvement, and rebuilding yourself physically, mentally, and financially. Because I know there are a lot of men silently going through the same thing right now. One of the biggest mistakes I've made as a man was slowly losing myself inside the relationship. And I think a lot of men do this without even realizing it. Your whole focus becomes work, responsibilities, bills, future plans, trying to provide, trying to keep everything together. And somewhere in the middle of all that, you stop focusing on yourself completely. Your own goals disappear. Your hobbies disappear. Your personal growth disappears. And then when the relationship ends, you don't even know who you are outside of it anymore. And that hit me hard. And that's why I honestly believe every man should continue building himself no matter what stage in life he is in, physically, mentally, and financially. Because relationships should add to your life, not becoming your entire identity. Another thing I realized, a lot of men are suffering quietly. And from the outside, no one would even know. You still go to work, still smile, still try to act normal. But mentally, you're exhausted. I remember nights where my mind just wouldn't switch off. Constant overthinking, constant stress, trying to process everything while pretending I was okay. And I think that's one of the hardest parts for men. We are taught to stay strong all the time. So instead of speaking, we stay silent. And I learned keeping everything inside only makes things worse. That's why things like gym, journaling, talking to someone you can trust, even going for a long walks alone, genuinely help mentally. You don't have to carry everything alone. And as painful as that period was, I can honestly say it changed me for the better. Because pain has two sides. It either destroys a man or it wakes him up. For me, it woke me up. That's when I started taking my health more seriously, going gym consistently, reading more, networking, learning businesses, traveling, focusing on growth instead of staying stuck mentally. And slowly, I started rebuilding myself again. Not overnight, but step by step. And that's why I genuinely believe pain can become fuel if you use it correctly. A lot of men waste pain. They distract themselves with alcohol, drugs, partying, random attentions. They try to escape their situation with all that. They stay angry. But if you channel all that energy into growth, your entire life can change. And the other thing I realized very quickly, motivation is unreliable, especially when you're mentally low. There were days I didn't feel motivated to do anything. But discipline kept me moving anyway. And honestly, discipline probably saved me in that during that period of my life. Like simple things. Waking up waking up earlier, training, eating better, working on myself, staying productive, keeping structure in my days. All of that helped me mentally more than people realizes. Because when life feels chaotic, routine gives you stability again. And I think a lot of men underestimate how powerful this discipline actually is. Confidence doesn't come from motivational videos. It comes from proving to yourself every single day that you can keep going even when life gets difficult. Another massive lesson lesson for me was understanding how much your environment affects you mentally. That's honestly part of the reasons why I came to Thailand. I needed space, a different environment, different energy, time to think clearly again. And honestly, traveling opened my eyes. You realize how many people are living completely different lives, thinking differently, moving differently, seeing opportunities differently. And sometimes staying in the same place too long keep you stuck mentally without even noticing. New environments challenge you. They force growth. They give you perspective again. And I think every man should experience that at some point of his life. If you're if you're going through heartbreak, divorce, loneliness, or just a difficult period in life right now, don't let it completely break you. I know how dark life can feel sometimes. I know how mentally exhausting it can get. But this period of your life can also become the beginning of something much bigger, a stronger mindset, better habits, more discipline, more self respect, a completely different future. And sometimes life removes people, routines, and old versions of you for a reason. And looking back now, I genuinely believe rebuilding yourself is one of the most important things a man can do. Anyways, guys, I appreciate every single one of you watching this video. And honestly, seeing how many people related to the first video made me realize I'm not the only one going through this journey. And that's exactly why I want to keep making these videos. Real conversations, real experiences, real growth. So if you're on similar journey, rebuilding yourself mentally, physically, financially, make sure you subscribe and follow the journey. I will see you on the next video.